Alright, what's going on guys, it's Greg here today, and hopefully my voice sounds extra crispier and clearer as I have gotten a new mic. I have invested in a new mic and arm stand since my brother sometimes can be a child in a candy store. He came over one night a couple months ago, and for whatever reason he's playing around with my arm stand, unscrews the thing that's holding it together, mic falls down, stand breaks, and I've been using a broken stand with a mic that a few people have been telling me in Discord calls I don't really sound all that well anymore, so I'm going to assume it had something to do with that. So thank you to my brother for, well, doing that whenever he was over visiting. Anyways, here we are using the Lachmann 556 today. This was a random class setup that I decided to build and see if it sticks, and to my surprise, the first game using it, well, it absolutely slapped. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a class setup right here so you can go ahead and use it for yourself if you want to try it out. And also, feel free to let me know in the comment section below what you think of it too. Alright, and returning to the gameplay, my build here for the Lachmann 556 was built around versatility as well as just being as accurate as possible for any engagement we may encounter. Modern Warfare 2, I tend to ADS a lot more than previous Call of Duties. In previous Call of Duties, I would use more movement and I would run around a bit more, as for I felt that movement had a bigger impact in previous Call of Duties. However, in Modern Warfare 2, especially in Ground War, I find that movement is just less important compared to other games and modes. Now, I will say that in ranked play, movement is very important, and you should not neglect your movement if you're playing ranked play, but in Ground War, I just don't really think it is all that important. Anyways, the gameplay you're watching here, basically I stayed A the entire match. I captured A, and I just defended it and recapped it and held it down for the team. Alright. Now, the reason I like A on this map, especially whenever I'm going for high kills or nukes in general, is because the A flag has, on this side of the map, it is the enemy's headquarters as well as their home flag, if that makes sense. So by holding this, we get spawns, and our teammates can spawn at A, they can rotate to B and C from a different direction instead of just having the front lines from our headquarters. And as we continue to hold the A flag, the enemies a lot of the times will spawn in their headquarters and they will try to retake the A flag, which creates map traffic towards me, which means I can get a lot more kills as well as, well, potentially earn more streaks and help out my team that way. So I tend to attack the home flag of the enemy team. Sometimes it really depends on the lobby though. This lobby happened to be a very good lobby, as I had quite a few people that just kept coming back to A, and they just could not figure out where I switch up my spot to every single time. And that is one of the things about Ground War, is these maps are a lot more open, there's a lot more decision making you can do, and you can play less predictable and be able to streak a lot more if you're able to master this principle. So as you can see right here, I end up taking out a few enemies with my Bettys, and I'm going to place them in these staircases, trying to create more flow so the enemies have to take me on the front. If they want to flank, they're going to have to go through some traps, and if they try to flank me and go through those traps, then they might either die to them, or I'm going to hear it go off, maybe I'll see a hit marker, and then I know someone is coming. Now, if you're wondering why I'm standing right here at this spot, this is a very common way that the enemies will try to engage me, and you can see that they're throwing things like drill charges and all that kind of stuff, but that's okay. As I stand here, I get offense and defense kills, which means I'm going to earn more score. So if I'm running score streaks, I'm going to earn a lot more score towards my streaks, as well as overall score in the game, which means I'll have like a higher score per minute and stuff like that, which I'm pretty high up on the leaderboard, so using this tactic is also helping me get to top 1,000 for score. I think I'm at like 1,400. And then for kills, I am in the top 500, I think like 480 or something like that. So if you were to go to the leaderboards and check that out, you guys would see my name there, and you guys would be able to see my overall stats and stuff of that nature. So in a way, I kind of do play for leaderboards, even though I don't really take it serious. I do like to play for it, though, at the same time, just to see how high my number gets. Obviously, I don't play the game as much as some of the guys all the way at the top do, and as the year goes on, my play time will continue to go down even more. But at the same time, I still like to try to compete with the leaderboards, at least like top 1,000. So that's why I really like lurking around flags, and especially recapping them. You know, if the enemies are overrunning me and I can't hold it down all by myself, as you guys can see here, my team completely loses control and we're in DEFCON. And in a situation like this where my team is in DEFCON, it's a good thing I'm still here at A, because this is actually a really good spot to get our teammates out of DEFCON, because they're only going to be able to spawn on either a transport helicopter, an APC, or the EHQ. And by capturing A, they will be able to spawn here and they can flank the map from behind, especially if a lot of the enemies have pushed up towards E. Basically, the entire map will be open. So it will allow for my teammates to do that. Now, obviously, my teammates are going to have to do their part, and they're going to have to understand what I am trying to do as well with that nonverbal communication, and look at their attack map as they're spawning in and say, oh, okay, I can spawn at A, and, you know, I can rotate backwards, and I won't have as much resistance as I would spawning at E. And if you guys don't already do that, it's a very good way to be able to regain control of the map. I got so lucky right here. If this guy had his gun out, I was dead, and I would have lost my streak. But by me sitting here and holding this down all game, it's able to keep the A flag captured and give that option to my team. Now, obviously, I can't play every single flag. If I were to rotate around to different flags, we're going to lose control of these flags that I were to leave. If I were to leave A, I highly doubt my team would have continued to hold this down. Heck, it even gets hard sometimes by myself here, and with the teammates that I have, it can be difficult. I was playing solo in this gameplay, by the way, just wanted to point that out. I do play a lot of solo ground war, as it gives me the opportunity to get more kills and be able to work the map the way I want to, without my friends also trying to do their own thing and get their gunships and chopper gunners and advanced UAVs, nukes, whatever it may be. I still play with my friends from time to time, but I do love playing solo ground war. I always have, especially in 2019, and I always will love playing solo ground war. Just wanted to point that out. It is just a vibe to me, and you know, it just depends on the day sometimes, alright? But anyways, once I get my gunship up, I really like to try to target enemy vehicles, as well as clear out objectives and rooftops, all that kind of stuff, just trying to get the enemies on the ground and playing the match like a normal soldier as an infantry. So right here I see the APC. It is cold-blooded. I will always test a vehicle in my gunship by shooting at it just a few, you know, maybe the laser rocket, or what was that? You guys see that? Where did my rocket go? What? InfinityWard. Come on, man. But yeah, I always test out every vehicle I see. If I don't see like a teammate's name, or if I clearly, you know, can't see that it is our own, and I will just make sure with that gunship just to make sure I'm destroying vehicles and helping my team out that way. The chopper gunner, this is just an anti-infantry tool. It's not good for taking out vehicles. You can put a rocket or put some shots into some vehicles, but just know that it's going to take almost the entire duration of the chopper gunner to destroy a vehicle. So therefore, I'm just going to recommend that you just don't use the chopper gunner to go after vehicles, but rather just go after those diamonds you see, and, you know, any sort of players that are around those diamonds, the red diamonds, as well as something, a little tip I'm going to give you is if you see a guy clear as day in your chopper gunner, but if they don't have that red diamond, you could still shoot at them, shoot a bullet at them with the chopper gunner, and if it gets a hit marker, that's an enemy, so go ahead, kill them. I do this all the time, kill a lot of cold-blooded users this way, and overall it helps out a lot for getting more kills as well as creating better map flow for the team. Another thing that I really like to do is if I do get an MGB, I always like to try to go on as high of a kill streak as I can get. Just as kind of like a challenge to try to beat my highest kill streak. My highest right now is 64, and I got that on a 10v10 Valderas Museum match. Whereas in Ground War, this is my highest Ground War kill streak of 58, so I bet I will be able to beat it at some point. If this match, if my team was a little bit more competitive with the flag capping and all that kind of stuff, I might have been able to extend this out a little bit further. But you'll see I get antsy at the end, especially because it just happened to be that these enemies that kept coming for me literally all game long kind of gave up, and they were just kind of sitting back in their HQ, not really doing anything. So I decided to start hunting them more than they were trying to hunt me. And at that point, that was whenever I just decided, alright, once I died, and I died off my 58 kill streak, that was when I just called in the MGB to end the game. Didn't want to get any more kills, didn't care about the 100 plus. I already had a pretty good score, was happy with what I had, and at that point I could just call my MGB, and we win the game for the team. But as you can see here, defending points in Ground War, it's all about just the way you position yourself. It's all about your overall knowledge of the map and where the enemies can contest you from. And a lot of the times, I'm still not 100% sure of ways people can come up to me. These maps are a lot more complex than the ones we had in Modern Warfare 2019. And what I mean by that is there's a lot more entry points, there's a lot more little jump spots. There are a ton of entry points, I should say, to every building on this game. Heck, you'll see some of the buildings on Zaya Observatory have like a window, like 5 windows in every room, and that means there's like just dozens, if you will, of entry points where enemies could come from on that map, and you're going to have to really use defensive equipment to try to create more flow in those buildings whenever they want to hunt you down. And where you place your equipment and how you use it is going to determine your overall survival ability. Now, I don't like using the Lachmann 5.56 up close, as you guys can see, and the reason for this is the Lachmann 5.56 has a pretty poor time to kill up close, so that is the reason that I am using the Basilisk revolver with the snake shot ammo type, as it can secure me one-shot, one kills. And it also, while it does secure you one-shot, one kills, there are a lot of times it will be 2 shots to kill, just like the normal ammo type. And to be honest with you, it's almost placebo to me with the snake shot ammo. I actually feel like the Basilisk without snake shot ammo is just as good as the snake shot ammo Basilisk, because it can one-shot to the chest as well. And a lot of the times whenever I am aiming in with my Basilisk, I am aiming for the chest anyways, so it's almost like it's kind of redundant that I am using the snake shot ammo, and I could probably even put on a different attachment if I wanted to, but I don't know. I just kind of like running it this way. It was really good in Modern Warfare 2018. Oh my god, thank god that guy wasn't paying attention. I would have been dead again. And yeah, that's pretty much why I'm using the Basilisk, and it is just great for close quarters. The 50GS is also a great option. The P890s with the Kimbo is another really, really good and common option as well. And you guys can see that this thing just beams, this 5.56. It has pretty much 0 recoil with this class setup. If you can master the little recoil it has and learn to control it to perfection, you'll be heavily rewarded with this class setup that I have given you guys. That is the strength of this gun, is it is pretty much you position and it's just free real estate at that point, because everywhere you aim at is just going to get beamed in just insane, little bullets, okay? Like, you don't have to put 10, 15 rounds down because of recoil, if you're not so adept at controlling recoil. And overall, I find that the guns that are the most consistent are usually the ones that are the best options to use. So the ISO Hemlock, the Lachmann 5.56, even the AKs are pretty good. The Kastov 7.62 and 5.45. You can control that horizontal recoil or directional recoil pattern, I like to call it, where it's not straight vertical and you have to pull down to the left or right as you're controlling. If you could get used to that, those guns are also heavily rewarding. Just a lot of the assault rifles in this game, right here I got taken out. This guy was kind of just lurking there. But a lot of the assault rifles in this game are some of the best guns in the game for ground war besides the snipers. As we all know, snipers and marksman rifles are basically hit scan in this game, and most of the snipers can one-shot, one-kill anywhere to the upper body, including arms and shoulders, all the way out to like 80 meters. So snipers in this game are basically effortless. A lot of the assault rifles are as well, so those are pretty much going to be your best bets for playing ground war. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this gameplay commentary, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace out, and have a great day.
No skill required for this game. It's all fucking rigged. You're dog shit. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
One dude on, boy.
I'll shit all over you any day, motherfucker. You're trash. You're dog shit.
Sorry,
Fucker.
ass nigga.